One thing that I think should really happen at church is if you're a Eucharistic minister, you should have Germex and a rag right next to you. So each time you touch somebody's tongue, you wash your hands, dry them off, and then you go for the next tongue.
For the next tongue.
Today's topic is shine a light. Shine a light on your struggles. Shining a light, especially, and I want to hit on the topic of pornography and how important it is to shine a light, to talk to someone else about it. I know in my personal journey, I didn't tell anybody for the longest time, and it wasn't probably until high school when I started, and I had been addicted for about 3 years then, that I finally started telling my closest friends. And so that was such a huge step for me. So today we have Max.
Saw. So I was talking to my friend last week sometime, and we were talking about just different sins I was struggling with. I guess I wasn't telling her like all my sins, but like we were talking about kind of the effect that these sins have on my spiritual life. And she asked me like, do you think like anybody in our friend group would look at you differently if you told them these sins? And I was like, yeah, of course they would. Like I've done some like bad things, and those were really weighing on me. And the more I talked to her, she kind of made me realize that why do I believe that my friends would look at me differently, or my family would look at me differently and wouldn't love me? Because I firmly believe that all of them unconditionally love me. But the devil makes us believe that like our sins are bigger than the power of love in our life. But when we actually talk about these sins, when we like bring them to each other, but when we actually talk about our sins with our friends or our family, and we like put them in front of us, we realize how little power they have over us, how little power they have over the love in our lives. Because if we truly unconditionally love somebody, then no matter what they do, that wouldn't change our mind about how much they're worth and how much we love them.
I think we get so caught up in making our own excuses of why we shouldn't tell someone else, whether it be guilt or shame, or you just literally judging them for how they're going to judge you when you tell them, that is just a great way for the devil to keep you preoccupied so you don't take a necessary step forward to get over these sins. I was talking to a guy the other day, and by the other day I mean probably 5 months ago. He asked me what I've been doing with my life, and I was like, yeah, I'm writing this like program and just doing videos about helping myself and other people get out of porn. I mentioned how much I just wish people would talk about their struggles more. And what he told me after that was awesome. He said he doesn't remember the last time he watched porn ever since he told his mom. And his mom's reaction, he was so nervous about telling her. His mom's reaction was, I was wondering when you were gonna bring this up to me. And she was loving and accepting, and now he doesn't watch porn with her help. That's just like an amazing witness to what actually happens when you shine a light on these subjects that you don't necessarily want to shine a light on. Passing it over to Max.
What's up, Vape Nation? So the first time I ever told somebody I had watched porn and I'd struggled with this sin was out at a summer camp. And I went with my friends, and there was a talk out there about how pornography messes with your spirituality and your mental health. And I never heard somebody talk about this before. And it was this sin that I just had been keeping to myself. And when I went out to this camp, I was sitting with my friends around the campfire, and it was like 2 a.m, and we were all just out there alone, and I was like, I want to tell somebody. I want to tell somebody that I've been struggling with this, because I felt so alone in it. And I was so afraid, and I was about to say it like so many times, and I was like, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. And right as I told them, I was like shaking and I couldn't like get the words out, but finally told them like I struggle with this. And I didn't really know if I understood what the actual sin was, but they responded to me like, yeah, I'm glad you said that because I struggle with that too. And I found so much community there, and I felt so much love from them just in that we struggled with the same thing. And I wasn't alone in that sin anymore. I was like with people, and I was working against this sin with my friends. But the devil wanted me to believe that I was the only person in the world looking at porn. And I was the only person in the world struggling with this. And I've seen a lot of girls especially struggle with this, where they come up to me and they're talking about porn, and they're like, I struggle with this, and I don't know of anybody else who struggles with this sin who's a girl. And I know there's a lot of girls out there that struggle with porn, but they feel so alone in it. And so when you tell people about your struggle with this, it not only helps yourself, but it helps other people find love through that relationship.
Dude, I'm like kind of in love with this situation going on.
I'm loving it a lot.
Yeah. So as Max was talking, I was trying to figure out what would be another excuse to make to not tell someone, especially like your parents, because I really think your parents can help you so much, especially if you're still living at home. Them knowing and them being able to help you would be amazing if they could do that, and you could rid your life of this sin before you even move out on your own. That would be phenomenal. One thing you might be saying right now is, my parents won't understand. Like, my parents are too old, they don't really my parents are too old, they don't really understand the internet, they don't understand porn. My parents are old as dinosaurs. And I told them, and they had no idea. They had no idea that I struggled with this. And they had no idea that the iPod that I got in 6th grade had the capabilities for me to do this. So if you think that they won't understand, my parents had no idea. I still don't even think my parents know to what extent porn goes to nowadays. They don't completely understand, but they still accepted that this is something I struggle with, and they still want to help me through. So don't let that be an excuse. Basically what Max and I are trying to say is there is no excuse to tell someone, because it will eventually help you. Even if it's super awkward at the beginning, it will eventually help you out.
Namaste, family. Welcome.
Did you still have something else to say?
No, I just really enjoyed this, so I just wanted to say that. Thank you, guys.